Hi everyone, welcome back to a new video. In this video, we are going to talk about Terminator, which is a Linux-based terminal emulator. You can use it to have multiple terminals in just one window and switch between them very easily. So we will talk about what Terminator is, how you can install it, all the commands and key bindings you should be knowing. And by the end of the video, you should be able to use Terminator in your own machine. It is a quite simple tool, so it will not take a lot of time. You just need to know a few commands and a few key bindings, and we'll configure a few things, and that should be good enough. So let's get started. Firstly, what Terminator is. Like I said, it is a terminal-based emulator for Linux. The best thing about it is that you can have multiple terminals in just one window, and then you can have multiple windows as well. And it's very easy to switch between those windows and do a lot of other things as well, which we will look ahead in the video. So let's first install it and you'll get some more idea. There is a detailed guide on how you can install it and how you can use it and all the commands in the description as well as in the comments, so you can check that out to install it. For me, I'm using Ubuntu, so I'll install it using apt package manager. So I already had it installed earlier, so I just removed it and installed it again now. And this is the logo. Let's get into it. And now you'll see I have 3 terminals over here. This is because I have configured Terminator to have this as my default view. We will have a look how to do this. But for now, I'll get rid of everything. Let me zoom in a bit. And now let's talk about the most important commands, which are Shift plus Ctrl+E for splitting the terminal vertically. So if I do Shift Ctrl+E, you can see we now have 2 terminals divided vertically. Now I want to remove it. So in order to remove a terminal, you can just do Shift plus Ctrl+W and it will remove the current terminal. So Shift plus Ctrl+W and it is removed. Similarly, if you want to split the screen horizontally or the terminal horizontally, Shift plus Ctrl+O is the command for that. And again, if I want to remove this terminal, I can just do Shift Ctrl+W and it will be removed. It somehow messed a few things, so let me clear it. Now, why would you want to use it? For example, this is how I use it. Usually I have something like this. And then if you want to toggle between these terminals or focus on another terminal, then you can do it using Alt and then the arrow keys. So Alt and the upper arrow key will take me in this terminal. And then I can just move between terminals like this. How I use it personally is, for example, here I'll have my Claude. Let me first go to some actual project. And here I'll have my Claude. Yes. Here I'll have, for example, K9s. And here I can be running some other commands. This one I keep for my commands like docker ps or whatever you want to run. Or you can also have VS Code open using it. So you can do anything. Let me just close it. So this is quite handy. You can simply move between terminals using Alt and arrow keys. So if I want to type something over here, I can do that and then move to this, and I can type here as well. And then I can also work on the K9s. Now, if you want to change the width or the height of any terminal, then you just have to focus on it. For example, I'm right now in the K9s one, and then I have to do Control Shift and then the arrow keys. So if I do left arrow key, then it will expand it towards the left. If I do down arrow key, it will expand it towards the bottom side. This is again very helpful if you want to see the complete output and you're not able to see it in a smaller screen. You can change that. More importantly, if you want to just switch to one or focus to one terminal for some time, you can do that with Ctrl+Shift+X. So it will basically maximize this particular terminal that you are focusing on. And you can do Ctrl+Shift+X again, and you can see all your terminals. There's another command which is Ctrl+Shift+Z. It is for zooming into a particular terminal, whichever you are focused on. So I'm right now in K9S. So if I do Ctrl+Shift+Z, it will basically focus plus zoom in on this particular terminal. So this zooms in. If you want to present something, this is a good way to present. But if you just want to work on something, then Ctrl+Shift+X is a better option. And you can do that with any terminal. So if I go down and if I do Ctrl+Shift+X, I can see it over here as well. Now, if you want to open new tabs, you can do that as well. So to open a new tab, you just need to do Ctrl+Shift+T and it opens a new tab. And here again, you can have multiple terminals using Ctrl+Shift+E and Ctrl+Shift+O. And if you want to switch between tabs, that also you can do using Ctrl plus page up and page down keys. For my case, it doesn't work, so I will select a different key binding in that case. If you want to configure the key bindings, you can do that using the preferences section. So here you will have the key bindings. And if I search for tab, then yes, the next tab is with Control and this angle bracket, and then for previous tab it's Control and this angle bracket. So it's basically Control plus Shift plus some key for me. So I'll just close it, and if I want to switch between terminals, then I can do it using Control Shift or the Control and the angle brackets. So this is how I can do it, and you can configure it for yourself, whichever keys you find more comfortable to use. Then there's one more thing that I want to show, which is Ctrl+Shift+A to rename your tab. So you can call this tab 1, for example, and then you can toggle to the other tab, and let's call this something else, tab 2. So this will help you bifurcate between various tabs just by looking into the heading of that particular tab. There are few more interesting things in this. Let's go back to. We can also group terminals and then broadcast same command over multiple terminals. Let me remove this. Let me remove this as well. So if you want to group all the terminals, you can do that using Super plus G. Again, all these commands you don't have to remember right now. You can check this out in the guide, and using it for a day or two, you'll be quite comfortable with these commands. So Super plus G for grouping. Oh, sorry for that. Yeah, I was saying Super plus G for grouping all the terminals. If you want to remove the grouping, then Super plus Shift plus G and the grouping is removed. If you only want to group the terminals in this tab, then for that Super plus T, and then if you want to remove the grouping, Super plus Shift plus T. Now to broadcast something in a group, you just need to do Alt plus A. So first I'll do Super plus T so that all of these are grouped together, and now I can do Alt plus A, and now you can see whatever I'm typing over here is being also typed over here, and this is K9S, so it's not showing it. So if I actually exit and if we type things again, then you can see it's working the same for each. So this is basically how you can broadcast one command over multiple terminals. This is very handy if you are SSH, if you are doing SSH into multiple servers and you want the same command to run over multiple servers. You can easily do that with broadcasting. So Alt plus A for broadcasting to all the terminals. If you only want to broadcast to the grouped ones, then Alt plus G. And if you want to turn off broadcasting, it's Alt plus O. So I'll turn it off. And now if I type something, it only gets shown over here. Rest of the things that you do, like copy pasting and search, etc., that remain the same like the default terminal. One more thing, you can rename these terminals as well. You can do that using Ctrl Alt X. So I can call this Claude, and then I can go here and I can call this one K9S, and then I can go here and I can call this one, let us say, Docker. Again, I don't use it a lot, but maybe you have some use case for this, so I just wanted to let you know. You can also arrange these terminals differently if you want using drag and drop. So I can pick this up from here and put it maybe here, or I can pick this up from here and put it, let us say, here. So you can basically drag and drop these terminals to whichever arrangement you want. Now, one final thing that I want to show you is the layouts. So if you do Alt plus L, it will show you all the layouts over here. And if you want to configure these layouts, you can directly do that using Preferences. And here you will see this Layout tab. So if you want to change the layout, then, or create a new layout, then you can simply first design the layout over here. So for me, I'll just go here, create one more terminal, or split this again. And I want to create a layout for this. So I'll go to Preferences, Layouts, New Layout, and just add, and it'll automatically pick it from here. Whichever layout I created over here, it will pick it, and I can say save. I can call it something, let's say, for terminals. You can save it, close it. And if I go to another tab and I want to copy a layout, then I can just do 4 terminals. It took some time, but yeah, it created a new Terminator window and it gave me this particular layout. So let me close this, and we'll close this as well. So this is how you can create different layouts as well. The important thing over here is that you should create a default layout, as in whenever you open Terminator, you can have a default layout for yourself. I usually use it this way. I like 3 terminal windows, and then I can resize them using these commands, which we already talked about. So if you want to do something like that, Preferences, Layouts, and then I'll just select it and save it. So now it automatically will capture the 4 terminals that I had. And if I close it, and let's open it again. So now I'll see the new layout which had 4 terminals. So this is how you can configure your layouts as well. So these are all the important commands / things you should know about Terminator. There are a few more things like plugins and all. You can use some plugins with Terminator, but most of your day-to-day use cases should be covered by all the things we talked about already. So that is all I wanted to talk about in this video. I hope these commands / tips will help you in setting up your Terminator. Again, you don't have to remember all these commands. You can find the guide in the description or in the comment section, and you can follow that for a day or two, and then you'll automatically remember all the commands. So that is it for this video. I hope you found this helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.